Do you have a habit of starting projects but not finishing them? If so, you are not alone. Many people have a habit of starting projects but not finishing them, which is a very bad practice. Completing a project successfully takes proper planning and conscious actions. If you have ever embarked on a project, you know that every goal and project comes with its own set of challenges which are not visible when you first start. I personally embarked on many projects in the course of running my businesses and pursuing my personal goals. I have a good body of experience on how to successfully take projects from start to completion. Here are my 10 tips on how I finish the projects I start. Number 1. I am always selective in what I embark on. When you start a project, especially a large-scale one, make sure it is something you are passionate about and you want to see it through. I have embarked on things which I was half interested in the past. For example, learning tennis or learning a language. Eventually, I stopped them midway. This resulted in waste of my time and resources, which could have been better utilized elsewhere. Because of that, I am more conscious on how I utilize my time and energy today. If you set a high threshold on what you want to do, the completion rate is also higher. If you aren't sure that this is something you really want to do, dip your feet into the pool first. Try it out on a small scale and see if it is what you are interested in. Number 2, I estimate the resources I need. In companies, they do resource planning, where they estimate how much resources that is needed for a project, after which they plan out the manpower and the investment accordingly. For us, that means doing a quick plan on how much time and effort this idea will take, so we can have a bird's eye view. It doesn't have to be exhaustive, just a quick outline will help. The point is that you need to have something that guides you. Number 3, I budget my time and energy accordingly. After you create your outline, you should have a realistic idea of how much time and effort that is needed to complete it. Plan out your time and resources accordingly and integrate them into your schedule or to-do list. Block out the time in your calendar for the project. Give yourself some buffer as well in case of contingencies. A big reason for loss of enthusiasm or energy is when people underestimate the amount of work needed to bring the goal to life. Good planning of resources help you plan out your energy and expectations. You know you have to put in X hours of X work to get the final output, so you will manage yourself appropriately to achieve your desired outcome. This will lead to a higher project success. Number 4, I quit being a perfectionist. How many of us keep delaying work because we want to get it just right? I am all for a perfectionism, getting the best output. But if your desire for perfectionism is preventing you from getting things done, I think it's good to challenge it. Try these 2 tips. First, break the task into many little steps. Then focus on one part at a time. If you still put it off after breaking it down, then break it down even further into mini pieces. Soon, you'll be left with such simple tasks that you'll be wondering what was keeping you from doing it before. The second tip is to give yourself permission to do the draft version, meaning there is no need to get it done right the first time. Creating a draft, even if it's a crappy one, is better than if you didn't do anything at all. Get started and things will roll on from there. Number 5, I commit to it. Once you start, commit to it. Whatever you have planned, do them. Give yourself option to exit a project if it's really not in the line with your vision. But otherwise, hold yourself to your word. From there, number 6, I connect with my end vision. I see myself finish the things I start. You might have experienced whenever you begin a new project, you are full of energy and enthusiasm. Then when you get into the thick things, this energy begins to fade away bit by bit. You are still excited about the overall project, but you are not so hyped about the nitty-gritty tasks that come as part of the work. But all these nitty-gritty tasks is part of what leads you to your beautiful vision in the end. Every little bit you are doing now counts towards you realizing that end vision. It's just to lose sight of that because you are caught up with your daily life. The problem here is your end vision has slipped away from you. So just bring it back in sight. And that is why I always see myself finish what I start. Surround yourself with anything that reminds you of your end goal, such as your vision board, your pictures of others who have achieved the same goal, and objects that represent the goal. Number 7, I follow the path of highest enjoyment. I found out that the easiest and most effortless way to complete a project is to be flexible in my project management approach. For example, most people will finish the task in their to-do list in a sequential order. Task 1 comes first, followed by task 2, then task 3, and etc. Sounds straightforward, easy, doesn't it? I did this for a long time until I realized it wasn't the most effective method. For example, some days I would procrastinate on a project because I felt like doing task 3 rather than task 1. Yet, by the project management rule, I needed to do task 1 before I could do task 3. On the other hand, when I give myself flexibility over what I do, while maintaining within the confines of the project, working on the project becomes like a big adventure. This approach makes me feel like I am in a candy store and I get to pick whatever candy I want. I refer to this as a path of highest enjoyment, doing what makes you feel happiest at the moment. When you do so, you automatically become productive in your work. Number 8, I track my progress. Tracking your progress helps you understand how you are doing and gives you a target to reach. This makes it easier for you to keep up with your momentum. Create a project sheet that records your targets and your current status. Specify your KPIs that you want to achieve. If your goal is to lose weight, your KPIs will be your weight, your fat percentage, and perhaps your performance during your exercise sessions. Then every week, review your progress. What % of your end goal have you achieved? Is it on track against your target? What is your target for the next week? Tracking makes you accountable to your goal and helps you stay on track. Number 9, I celebrate what I have done so far. Sometimes we get discouraged with all the things that we need to be done. It seems like no matter how much time we spend, it is impossible to finish it. The amount of work overwhelms us and we opt out halfway. Here's the thing. Everything you've done so far is an accomplishment. Give yourself a huge pat on the back and a big bear hug. Celebrate the progress and resting, the doing, the completion, and everything. Take the opportunity to recharge and regroup. When you are ready, continue. And finally, the last in my list. Number 10, I don't force it if it is really not working out. Sometimes it just happens that you lose interest in the goal. It happens and it's normal. We change, our interests change, and we get new ideas and inspiration the whole time. It might seem like a big waste dropping all that's done, but it's not a big deal. You are capable of achieving a lot more than you realize. Trying to hold on to what you've done just prevents more goodness from coming to you. It's okay to give yourself the permission to drop what you're doing now if it is just not working out. And you might just find many new things coming your way straight after that. I'm not saying that you should give up easily. It is not advisable to give up unless you are forced to do so. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel